And he looked at me and he was like, "Are you ready?"
Are you ready?
And I'm like, "I thought you weren't gonna come." And he was like, "Oh, I would have missed this for the world." Hello, everybody. Welcome back. If you are new to this channel, thank you. But this is episode 19, you guys. This is the final episode that we're going to be doing on this documentary, and I'm really excited about this episode. So
it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah.
It is, because this was a journey that we shared that was not easy, and you know, it's coming to a very exciting ending, and
yeah, so stay tuned. Yeah. You want to watch this whole thing, you guys. This is my mom.
Hello.
Linda. And we are going to pick up where we left off. Nobody knowing what to do with me, okay? I had these open holes all over my abdomen. They weren't closing. No doctor wanted to work on me. Everybody was scared to work on me. I mean, these holes were open for about a year.
Yeah, it was a year of lumps, bumps, abscesses, tunnels,
everything. Okay?
And no answers.
Right.
And well, the only answer we would get is, "Sorry, you're too complicated."
Right. But there was one last option.
Yeah.
And so let me remind you that Dr. Tinkoff is no longer in Delaware at Christiana Hospital because he got snagged up by a hospital in Ohio.
In Cleveland.
To be the head trauma surgeon and teaching doctor at that hospital. So, go ahead, Mom.
So I found out which hospital he was at. Did my research and found Dr. Tinkoff at the Cleveland Hospital, and I called and I made an appointment, and we drove all the way to Cleveland.
You know, and let me say this too. When my mom went ahead and told me, she sat me down, and before she called and made an appointment, she was like, "Okay, Sanaya, we have no other option. I want to drive you out to Ohio, and we're going to see Dr. Tinkoff." At that moment, once again, I realized how much my mom was just my rider, man. You know, she's like, "No, we're going." I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm sure. Let's go." So thank you for everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, we exhausted everything around this area, and that was our only option. Our only option that was left was to drive from where we are now in, you know, right outside of Philadelphia all the way to Cleveland, Ohio. So we drove all day, and then got into our Airbnb, you know.
Spent the night.
Because we had to be there in the morning for our appointment.
Butterflies in my stomach, okay? I was nervous.
Yeah, because it was like a surprise appointment for Dr. Tinkoff. And we didn't know what to expect, actually. But
not at all.
So we get there and we check in and stuff, and
they bring me back to the room. My mom is with me.
To the
and they
what do they call those rooms?
Examining
room.
And then, you know, the MA is, you know,
all the stats,
taking my vitals, asking me, you know, what's going on, what brings you here. And then, you know, the MA leaves out the room, and the next thing you know, we hear a knock.
Yep.
On the door. Dr. Tinkoff.
Dr. Tinkoff walks in, shaking his head.
Yep, shaking his head, and he was like, "What are you guys doing out here?" And
I was going to call you and tell you not to come.
But I knew you wouldn't listen.
And I'm like, no, I would not have listened. I would be here whether you told me not to come or not. Here we are. And he was like, "What's going on?" So
we told him
what's going on. He looked at her tummy.
Yep. And he diagnosed me in less than 5 minutes. He actually even said, too, that he already had a feeling of what the problem was even before he saw me.
Right.
Because he saw me on the schedule.
Yeah.
So he was like, he had a feeling, and I couldn't believe it. So he diagnosed me with the original sutures that were put in my abdomen to close me up.
They were supposed to be permanent.
They were supposed to be permanent.
They were the ones that, when they sewed up her muscles, remember in one episode I said they had to basically fillet her abdominal muscles because they were atrophied, and they had to fillet them to open them up, bring them together, and then they had to sew them together, and they used a permanent suture material for that.
Right. So those were being rejected from my body.
They began to fray.
Yeah, my body was
trying to push them out.
Right.
They were fraying, and her body was pushing them out.
Right. So it was a foreign object to my body. You know, and it's crazy because it was years later. It was wild. Like, how come it took so long? But anyways, so when the holes were created, when they opened up the holes, then my body created tunnels. It's so amazing how our body's made, man. So my body created tunnels. That's why the holes never closed. The only way the holes would close up is when the foreign object, the sutures, are removed, which is amazing to me. Right. So I was like, wow, like, you know, we've been searching everywhere for someone to tell us an answer, and he just did it in just 5 minutes. Like, I couldn't believe it. So then he was like, all right.
We got to go back in.
Yeah, he was like, we got to go back in.
Clean it up.
So where are you going to have it done at? Where are we going to do this at? And he was like, if you have it done in Ohio, you're going to have to stay out here for about a month and a half, because I'm going to have to observe you and make sure you're okay
right,
afterwards.
Because they have to open her back up.
Completely.
And
completely
go inside
all
and
the way up.
Like, clean up her abdominal cavity.
A major surgery yet again. Like, after he mentioned, you know, coming to Ohio, and I'm like, I'll do whatever you know. I'm like,
we'll come.
Right,
no
like
problem.
whatever it is, like we'll come out
here.
And he was like, well, how about this? What if I come back to Christiana Hospital
in
Delaware and get
privilege
because he's not
special permission,
right, because he wasn't on staff for a couple years, so he had to get special permission to come back in that hospital to perform a surgery. He performed a dual surgery with one of his physicians that he loves, Dr. Giberson.
Dr. Giberson, yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So he was like, you just got to let me know, keep me updated, let me know when you want to do it. So, you know, me and my mom, we leave, you know, the appointment, say our goodbyes to Dr. Tinkoff, and we head back to Pennsylvania. And I remember me and my mom were in our car in the parking lot at Aldi, and somehow I got on the phone with Dr. Tinkoff. I don't know if I called him or he called me, but he was like, when is the surgery going to get done? He was,
you have to schedule it.
So now it's close to Christmas, and he was like, you have two options. This can happen either before Christmas or after Christmas. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just get this done and over with, you know? So I'm like, let's just do this before Christmas. Let's just do it. He was like, all right, fine. Bet. So
scheduled it for December 23rd of 2019.
Right.
At Christiana Hospital in Delaware.
Right.
And thank God that we did it that early, because guess what happened right after, you know, right in the beginning of 2020? COVID hit and everything was shut down.
Up in the hospitals.
The hospitals were a mess.
Airplanes, travel.
Everything.
So
Everything was a mess.
I don't even know if Dr. Tinkoff would have even been able to come out.
And if he would have, then I wouldn't have been able to be there.
Right. It was such a mess then. So thank God that, you know, we chose to have it done before.
God totally intervened, and he did it in the right timing.
Right. So it was the day of the surgery, and we drive out to Delaware, and I mean, when I tell you my nerves, because remember, Dr. Tinkoff said before, the only reason why people are going to go back in your stomach is life or death. That's how serious this surgery was.
Right.
So we get to Christiana Hospital
early
in the morning,
check in, all that good stuff, and then they take her into pre-op. And
anybody who's been in the hospital and had surgeries, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. So you
Right.
have the people coming in, they ask you, okay, tell me your name, tell me your date of birth, what are you having done today, and who are your doctors that are gonna be working on you. And then the anesthesiologist comes in, and she asked me the same questions, and I gave her the same answers. Dr. Tinkoff, Dr. Giberson. She looked at
laughed.
me and laughed.
She laughed, and she was like, Dr. Tinkoff he doesn't even work here anymore. He's not doing the surgery.
She's like, I think
she
you
laughed.
She's like, I think you're very confused.
Yeah.
And
so me and Sanaya looked at each other like, oh my God, he's not gonna be here.
No, but no, I remember this. I looked at my mom and I was freaking out, and my mom looked at me and she said, stop. He's gonna come. Calm down. And then all of a sudden, I hear a voice. Where is she? Where is she?
Where is she?
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's him.
That's Dr. Tinkoff.
That's him. And he comes around the corner and he was like, there's my girl. And the anesthesiologist, I tell you what, her jaw dropped to the floor.
So it's crazy.
Could not believe that Dr. Tinkoff came.
Right.
Especially for this one. Especially for this one. And we're so grateful. So grateful. And then at the same time, we're kind of like, yeah.
But, after that happened, Dr. Tinkoff, he's ready. He has his white coat on.
And Dr. Giberson was with him. Oh, and so all these other doctors and surgeons and people started coming in
down,
and lining
up
in her pre-op room.
Yeah.
To shake hands with Dr. Tinkoff.
To shake hands. I mean, there was this...
So good to see you again, Dr. Tinkoff. Oh, Dr. Tinkoff, I've heard so much about you. I just wanted to meet you.
Yep. There was this young man I will never forget. He was like, I heard so much about you, Dr. Tinkoff. You are so amazing, and I've been wanting to meet you. And it was just so crazy.
It was crazy.
To see that. And then he got done shaking everybody's hand. He got done saying hi to everybody. And he looked at me, and he was like, are you ready?
Are you ready?
And I'm like, I thought you weren't going to come. And he was like, oh, I would have missed this for the world. Right? So they're getting me ready. And I remember, it's just like, okay, Mom. All right, Mom, I'll see you later.
See you in a little bit.
In the back of my head, it's just like, all right, I hope I see you again.
Oh, I know she was.
But I was in great hands. Because Dr. Tinkoff already knows what my insides look like. This is the guy that needs to be doing this surgery. Right. They're giving me the anesthesia, and they're wheeling me back and to the surgery room. And I remember, being on that cold surgery table, and Dr. Tinkoff's holding my hands. And Dr. Giberson is holding my hand. And I asked Dr. Tinkoff, I said, because it was so hard for us to find Dr. Tinkoff, where he was at. Like, my mom had to do a lot of research, and talk to a lot of people to find out where Dr. Tinkoff was working in Ohio. And so I was like, Dr. Tinkoff, can I have your phone number before I don't see you again? Because I never want to lose contact with you again. And he was like, okay, you will. I'll give you my number. And then I remember then the anesthesia, knocked me out. I remember waking up in the recovery room, and there he is, Dr. Tinkoff with his leather jacket on. And he is like, finally you wake up. I've been waiting for you. I didn't want to leave.
Until you woke up.
I didn't want to leave until you woke up. And
to say goodbye.
Yeah, he wanted to say goodbye to me. He told me that it was successful. He said that, so think of it like a braid. You have one single braid, but there's 3 strands in that one single braid. And that basically what happened to all these sutures, like my mom said earlier, they all frayed. So
They're
once they
unraveling.
opened my abdomen, they said that the sutures were everywhere.
It was a mess.
Everywhere throughout
Yeah, it
my
was a
abdomen.
mess. He said that they got out as much as they could see. But I tell you what, you have not had any problems since.
Thank God.
Thank God. The only problem now that you're dealing with is the parasites.
Right. So Dr. Tinkoff, you know, we say my goodbyes, and he's like, here's my phone number. I'll talk to you later. I gotta go. I have somewhere I have to be. And I'm like, okay, you know.
I remember 2 days before Christmas.
Right. So I'm like, okay, no problem. It was a rough healing again, you know.
That's it.
It's out?
Wasn't too bad.
No way.
That's out.
54 staples. He counted it for me because I was curious. The tube is out.
You okay?
Yeah. It's like, yet again, another
2 weeks in the hospital.
major surgery.
Yeah.
But fast forward though, so I have a friend that I used to work with at Champs in Christiana Mall, Natalie, and she had reached out to me on social media and said that, I think I know your trauma surgeon's daughter, and I think you guys should talk. So Natalie gave me this girl's information, and I DM'd her right away on Instagram. And it is Dr. Tinkoff's daughter. And I just proceeded to let her know, you know, everything that her dad did for me, saved my life multiple times. And she wrote me back, and she couldn't believe it. She shared with me that she never understood her dad's job, I guess. You know, as a kid, she was like, he always had to leave on holidays. He always had to leave, you know, early at recitals or, you know, school functions. And she didn't understand, how come work is more important than your kids? Which I get, you know, it's just like, I get it. And she said that once she was able to talk to one of his patients and hear what he's done for me, it made her realize and understand more about her dad's job.
Mm-hmm. And what a great man he is.
Yeah.
And a great father.
And then she told me, she was like, when was your surgery? And I told her the date, and she's like, oh my goodness. She was like, so remember, Dr. Tinkoff is in Ohio, and his daughter is in Delaware, Pennsylvania, I forget. So she told me that, you know, they were all at the dinner table, and all of a sudden there was a knock at their front door. And they opened the door, and it's Dr. Tinkoff. Surprised them for the holidays. And they're all sitting down at the table, and she asked him, Dad, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And he was like, there was something that I had to do. And she was like, well, did you do it? And he was like, it's done. And she told me, she was like, what he had to do was your surgery. That's what he was talking about. She's like, I never knew what he was talking about. I never knew why he came out here. I never knew what he had to do. And it was your surgery that he had to do. So, you know the trauma surgeon that saved my life multiple times, and well, his name is Dr. Tinkoff, and I'm about to go ahead and meet his daughter for the very first time. I really believe that the reason why he was there for me when no one else was because I think that it was like, because me and his daughter are the same age, so it was almost like like he thought about her when saving my life. I don't know. But anyways, I'm about to go meet her and I'm really excited. So stay tuned.
Yep. He came all the way from Cleveland, Ohio to Delaware just to do your surgery. But the extra bonus was that he got a chance to visit his family, his daughter, for the holidays and surprise her.
Yeah. It's such an amazing story because it's like, you know, just to go ahead and go from the beginning of the story of how broken and how just lost I was. And then just for a major surgeon to just like love me so much.
I mean, just think about just the fact of when you were in the pre-op room and all these people were coming down. Word spread throughout the hospital, and Christiana is not a small hospital. Word spread throughout the hospital
That he was
that
there.
Dr. Tinkoff was in the building.
Yeah.
Like he's Elvis, you
Yeah.
know? and everybody wanted to see him. It was just like, and we're like, oh my goodness, you know?
Yeah, and he was there for me.
Yeah.
He was there for me. You know, and it's just like, I love that man so much. You know,
He's a very special part of our lives, and he always will be.
yeah, I don't bother him because I know he's really busy. But every once in a while, I'll text him.
Right, because we don't want him to be like, dang, I never should have gave her my number. She's like stalking me.
Right.
But we don't.
No. I just want to let you guys know that this whole thing was years and years and years long.
Yes.
Of trauma, of devastation, anger, sadness. I mean, all
PTSD.
the emotions. Yeah, everything.
I mean, it was just like
Everything.
the drugs. I mean, it was quite. From December of 2012 to December of 2019.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And then even after that, you know, she had to go through the recovery process again. So
And just be careful, you know, for the rest of my life. But what I want to tell you guys, even though it took a long time, and even though it was really, really bumpy, and there were times when I was like, God, where are you? Where are you, man? Like, how come you're letting this happen? But don't give up. Don't give up. I know that you might be in a really big struggle and you feel like it's never gonna end. Don't give up, but you have to trust God. You have to put your faith in Him. You have to go ahead and talk to Him. You have to, because it's just like, what other option do you have? You know, I mean, doctors can only do so much, you know, but God puts all the puzzle pieces together. Like, seriously, if you watch this whole documentary, there have been so many miracles that took place throughout this that only God could do.
only God.
Only God could do. And
Only God.
And I would not be here right now if it wasn't for His grace and His mercy on my life. And I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve it at all. So just really continue to just not give up. I wanted to give up so many times. Oh my gosh, I wanted to give up so many times. You know, but I had the right people in my circle to keep me, you know, remind me, like, no, you can't give up.
What did I always tell you?
This is only temporary.
This is only temporary.
This is only temporary.
Let's get through it.
And I used to think to myself, I remember sitting in the chair down, you know, in the room and just thinking, like, it's only temporary? Yeah, right. And then now look at me. Now look at me.
Yeah.
Now I'm on here, you know, talking and telling my story so it can give other people hope.
Right.
You know, because this is not just for me. God, this is what God does. you know? So anyway, so now where I am now, like my mom briefly said, you know, my health is, as far as like my surgeries go, my health is great. Thank God.
Thank God.
But I am battling parasites. I am battling parasites, you know, my eye. I almost went permanently blind in my left eye a couple of times. My organs started to shut down. And once again, no doctor knew what was wrong with me. 14 doctors and specialists, top doctors, nobody knew what was wrong with me. And come to find out, parasites. So I know that I kind of went away with my updates with the parasite thing, because it's like, who wants to hear about parasites, okay, in the body? Honestly, people think that it's like really weird, and it's like I'm just like this like crazy person, but it's real, okay?
It is real.
Yeah, I see them every day. All right,
and
so
remember, if you're not sure if you have parasites, just go like this.
Oh, you got them.
Oh,
you got
feel a pulse. Yeah, you have parasites.
But so I am going to be updating you guys periodically on the parasite recovery. I'm coming almost to a close.
I think you're kind of getting over that really big hump. I mean, it was like she's still expelling parasites every day.
Yeah.
And it's like 7 months now, going into 7 months.
8 months, yeah. So I will update everybody on the parasite journey, and also
your nails.
My nails. I will be continuing with this because I've been waiting for my parasite recovery journey to be over so I can really focus on launching my website for press-on nails, okay? I'm excited about it. And also, my mom and I will be coming on periodically talking about, whatever, you know, whatever we want to talk about. So we're going to be back on. So please subscribe. And once again, you'll be seeing us more. Not more, but we're not going anywhere, okay? So thank you again.
We'll touch base every once in a while, right?
Right.
Okay.
So thank you again, everybody, for watching and tuning in. And because this was our survival.
Yeah.
You know, I don't talk about this to people.
Every time I start to talk about it, I start to cry. Which reminds me, I'm gonna be
starting writing her book
again. I wanted to write just a little memoir for her, and then someone says you should write a book. I mean, just write a book, and
because there's a lot that we didn't talk about in this documentary.
We just
kind of skimmed through.
We just talked about the major stuff, but
right.
But there's still some stuff that we didn't talk about, and
so she's gonna be working on that.
Yeah, which if you go back and watch the beginning of these episodes, I had a hard time, and I would start to cry, and because it's hard to relive it, and it was very traumatic. And so yeah, whenever I would sit down at the computer to write this book, I would just bawl my eyes out, and I couldn't do it. So I'm hoping that after doing these episodes, that it kind of helped me to, okay, I can do this. I can write this book. So,
you know, and that also lets me know too that my obedience, because I didn't want to do this documentary. I did not know anything about editing. I did not know anything about YouTube, okay? Nothing at all whatsoever.
And you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I really felt, you know, God was like, I want you to talk about it. I want you to talk about the miracles that I performed in your life, because the miracles that I did in your life are not just for you. And so I was obedient. And honestly, once I said yes and I started doing this documentary, things started to really come together for my life. Major like breakthroughs. Mm-hmm. So if God is asking you to do something, be obedient. Mm-hmm. Be obedient.
Well, I just want to close by saying a huge thank you to Jamesia and Dr. Jeffrey Nicholas and Nurse Desiree and Nurse Sonia, the general, and she had great nurses, and you know, and then Dr. Tinkoff and Rose and
Janita.
Kathy and Janita. Oh
and
my goodness,
Christiana.
you know, we met some great people. And
Sylvia.
then Sylvia, we got a chance to meet Sylvia. She's, I think you should do a show with her.
You know what, honestly, so another thing briefly before we end this, I'm going to pray about it, but I really think that I'm going to be doing testimonies on here for other people's testimonies, because there's some major testimonies that need to be told. And so Sylvia's
one of them.
is
She was
one
in the
of them.
hospital at Grady the same time Sanaya was.
Yeah, and she has an amazing story, so be on the lookout for that, because you're going to want to hear her testimony. Seriously. So, is that it?
That's it.
All right, you guys. So this is it for the documentary, but if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe, because even though this documentary is done, we're still going to be posting.
Yeah, we'll still be posting.
Yeah.
And if you missed any episodes, you can always go back and look at them.
Definitely. So, thank you again, everybody. I really, really appreciate you wanting to know what I went through. So thank you. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. All right?
Bye.